Welcome, dear viewers, to Nightmares and Wicked Whispers, the channel where the ordinary meets the supernatural, and where the shadows come to life. I am your guide through the realms of the macabre, your harbinger of spine-tingling tales that will make your heart race and send shivers down your spine. On this dark and stormy night, we invite you to embrace the unknown and step into the haunting world of our channel. Here, we weave stories that blur the line between dreams and nightmares, where every whispered secret holds a sinister truth. In a quiet, unsuspecting house on a stormy night, an ordinary woman is about to face a nightmare that will challenge the very fabric of her sanity. But remember, dear viewers, this is not just a story, it's an experience, a descent into darkness. So, gather your courage and prepare for a chilling tale that will haunt your thoughts long after the final words are spoken. We present to you The Midnight Visitor. It was a stormy night, rain lashing against the windows of Anna's old, creaking house. She sat alone in the dimly lit living room, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows across the room. Her husband, John, was away on a business trip, leaving her with only the company of her loyal dog, Max. Anna tried to distract herself with a book, but the persistent sound of rain tapping on the roof filled her with unease. Max, usually a calm and collected dog, had been restless all evening, pacing back and forth. As Anna's anxiety grew, she heard something peculiar over the sound of the storm, a faint, rhythmic tapping coming from the hallway. She dismissed it as a trick of her imagination and continued to read. The tapping persisted, growing louder and more deliberate. Max's ears perked up, his growls matching the intensity of the noise. Anna's heart raced as she placed her book aside and cautiously approached the hallway. With each step, the tapping became more menacing, like sharp claws scratching at the walls. Her pulse quickened, and she reached for the hallway light switch. But as soon as the light flickered on, the tapping ceased, leaving her standing in eerie silence. Anna's trembling hand slid along the wall as she cautiously made her way down the hallway. Max followed closely, his hackles raised. They reached the bedroom door, which stood slightly ajar, casting a sliver of pale moonlight into the room. Anna pushed the door open and gasped in horror. There, in the dim moonlight, was a figure standing at the foot of the bed. It was a shadowy silhouette, featureless and looming. The figure was a haunting silhouette that seemed to defy the laws of reality. Its shape was like that of a tall, shadowy specter, featureless and enigmatic. It stood at the foot of Anna's bed, its presence suffused with an aura of malevolence. The figure was shrouded in darkness, its contours shifting and wavering as if it were composed of living shadows. It had no discernible face or form, making it all the more unsettling. The absence of defining features left Anna with a profound sense of dread, as if she were staring into an abyss that threatened to consume her. Its movements were deliberate and measured, almost as if it were swaying gently, like a pendulum marking time. This eerie motion added an extra layer of unease to the scene, making Anna question the very nature of what she was witnessing. A chill ran down Anna's spine as she stammered, Who are you?" The figure didn't respond. Instead, it seemed to sway gently, like a pendulum. Anna's heart pounded in her chest as she reached for the bedroom light switch. Click. The room flooded with light, revealing an empty bedroom. Anna's breaths came in shallow, terrified gasps. Max barked furiously, but there was no sign of anyone in the room. Anna's mind raced, searching for a rational explanation. Perhaps it had all been a trick of her imagination, or maybe a play of shadows. She was about to leave the room when she heard a chilling whisper, barely audible over Max's barks. "Anna. I'm here." She spun around to find the source of the voice, but there was no one there. Trembling, she approached the closet, hesitating for a moment before throwing the door open. Inside, hanging from a hook, was a lifeless body, the body of her husband, John, swaying gently like a pendulum. Anna's scream pierced the silence, and Max's barks turned into mournful howls. As Anna tried to process the horrifying sight before her, the lights flickered, and the room plunged into darkness. Panic welled up inside her as she fumbled for her phone, desperately trying to call the police. In the pitch-black room, she heard the whisper again, this time chillingly close, "Anna. I'm here." Before she could react, a cold hand clamped over her mouth, and a sinister voice whispered in her ear, "You should never have turned on the light." With a sudden jolt, Anna woke up, drenched in sweat, safe and sound in her bed. It had all been a horrifying nightmare. She looked around the room, her heart still racing, relieved that it was just a dream. But as she turned to check on Max, she found her bedroom door slightly ajar, and from the hallway, a faint, rhythmic tapping began, echoing her nightmare all too closely. And so concludes our heart-pounding tale of the Midnight Visitor. But was it all just a nightmare, or something more sinister? If this story sent shivers down your spine and left you jumping out of your seat, don't forget to hit that like button below. If you're new to our channel and crave more spine-tingling stories and thrilling content, make sure to subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you're always first to know when we release our next terrifying tale. Until our next encounter with the unknown, may your nights be peaceful and your dreams unhaunted. This is Nightmares and Wicked Whispers signing off.